Caitlin here. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to bring some eyeshadow looks for you. In this video, I'm just gonna kind of break things down step by step for you, go over the brushes that I use. I am gonna be using a quad palette, so I just have some neutrals right here. So the steps that I'm gonna do with these, you can use with all eyeshadows, right? So it doesn't matter what colors you have, you can use this basic concept for any palette that you get. First off, I already have my foundation and stuff done. I get asked a lot which one to do first. For me, day to day, I do my foundation first and then my eyeshadows last. Now, on a special occasion, or say I'm gonna do a dramatic eye, I will do my eyeshadow first. And the reason you do that is because there's gonna be a lot of fallout. So if you do your foundation first and then your eyes, that fallout is gonna go right onto your eyeshadow and you're gonna have to wipe it off and you're probably gonna ruin your foundation, and that's no fun. So before you start your eyeshadow, you always wanna have a base. Now this can be eye primer or concealer or foundation or whatever you use. I personally like using concealer. It's just the same shade of concealer that I use for my under eyes, and you just need a little bit. The reason I use concealer, I just like it how it like lightens your eye. It's very, like, it's not tacky like an eye primer is, but it's a good enough base that it's gonna hold your pigmentation for your eyeshadows and help your eyeshadow stay on longer throughout the day. When it comes to brushes, I have 3 brushes that I absolutely live by. Really, these are the only 3 that you need. I have a deluxe brush, which is just like flat. Then I have a crease blending brush. And then I have just a regular blending brush. You could literally do everything you need with just these 3. So grab out your brushes. You're gonna start with your deluxe brush. You're gonna dip in to the lightest shade that you have. So this is just a nude. I usually always have like a nude or a lighter color like this in my eyeshadow quads, just because this is gonna be used for your base. So, I mean, obviously you already put your concealer down for a base, but now you're gonna kind of set that concealer with a neutral, lighter shadow. It'll make blending a lot easier for you. So if you use a regular eye primer, I highly, highly recommend you do this. If you don't, it's gonna be a lot harder to blend your shadows together. Just make sure everything is nice and covered. We're gonna kind of do like a subtle smoky eye, and we're gonna start out with our crease blending brush. We're gonna dip that one into the lighter color you have. So like I have a darker brown and a lighter brown. I'm gonna dip it into that lighter brown, just like patting it on, tapping it off, and then I'm gonna go right on my crease. If you don't know where your crease is, it's where your eyelid and that bone meet, right? So right along there. You can take your finger and kind of feel exactly where you're gonna go. I just take this and pat it in there, more of a lighter look. You're not gonna carry it very far over. Want more of a darker look, then you can carry it further. Then I don't dip it in anymore. I'll just take it and kind of like do little circle motions and blend that in. Always, always hold your brush towards the end. So it's gonna give you a softer touch. It's gonna make it easier for you to blend and then reduce those harsh lines that you see. Look how pretty that blended. I do one step on one eye and then move to the next eye and do that same step. I do not do an entire eye just because I'll usually forget what I did on that eye and I won't ever be able to get it perfect. So I do the same step on both eyes and then move to the next step and so on. Now you kind of have like a really soft, subtle smoke. Now we're gonna go in and we're gonna take that darker shadow and make it a little bit more bold. I'm gonna do the exact same thing with this shadow that I did with the previous one, except I'm not gonna carry it very far. I'm gonna take it and pat it about to the center of my eye. You just pat it on there. And then if you want, you can carry it further into your eye. You can leave it kind of out in the crease. You can go further over your eye. It really just depends how dark or how light you want it. Same thing for the next eye. You're gonna look and see how dark it is. I always start with a little bit of the dark shade and then add more if I want more dramatic. The colors where they're at, you don't wanna go darker, you don't wanna go lighter. You're gonna take that blending brush. This is just a straight blending brush. I have no product on this brush. I usually don't ever even dip this brush into eyeshadow at all. I'm just gonna go and literally holding it at the end, lightly blend. 99% of people who say they have a hard time with eyeshadow are having a hard time with blending. So literally the easiest way to help you with that is holding your brushes at the end with a very soft touch. Just remember, you can always add more if you want. After you do that, it's actually gonna soften your eyeshadow even more. So it's gonna make it a little bit lighter than it was before. So you might realize that you want a little bit more color in there. That's fine. You're just gonna repeat that last step. So you're gonna take that crease brush, dip it right back into the darker one and add just a little bit. And then after you add that little bit, you're gonna go back with this brush, blend it in, and then same thing again. If you want more, just add more. Back to that deluxe brush, so this flat one, and I'm gonna actually dip it into this darker one, just right on the end of it. And I'm gonna carry that eyeshadow right along bottom lash line. I always go, because you kind of, so when you're following that lash line, you can kind of get a little line right there. So I just take the same brush and kind of like fluff it up a little bit. I'm gonna wipe this brush completely off and dip it into this gorgeous glitter. And I'm just gonna pat it right on there. So you can see I'm not taking it all the way up. I'll wipe that brush off and you're gonna kind of go very lightly on the edge and kind of like blend it in for you. Boom, just like that. How pretty is that? Say you did your eyeshadow and you have a little bit of fallout come down, right? No big deal. Take like a powder puff brush and just lightly swipe it off, very lightly. Up is your eyeliner. You guys, this pencil eyeliner is literally the best thing ever. This stuff is legit smudge proof. Like, it's not, they say it's not waterproof, but I don't believe it because this stuff is the bomb. So it's just a pencil. There's a lot of people that get confused. So it's a pencil that you can sharpen with a pencil sharpener. So it kind of looks plastic, you know, so people get it and then they run out and they're like, what do I do with it? Just take a pencil sharpener. It'll sharpen that baby right up, I promise. Now, I personally like to do a tight line on my top and my bottom to make your eyes like look wide, you know, like bright, big eyes, open. You don't want to do like a ton of eyeliner. Like the darker you go or the thicker you go, I mean, the smaller it's gonna make your eyes look. So I personally just like to do a little bit, a little line, and then it'll make my eyes look wider, especially because I naturally, like when I smile, my eyes go like this. So I always need as much help as I can get getting my eyes to look bright and open and shiny and whatever. So I take this, if you have a beauty blender, use that down like this. And I go right on my lash line, like almost under my eyelashes. Okay, so this liner, when you first put it on, you can wipe it off very easily. Now, as soon as it dries, that baby's stuck. So if you do what I just did, like I had a little bit of a mess up, hurry, take your finger, wipe it right off. Just like that. Now I do the same thing on the bottom. I go right on my lash line, just like that. Done. So simple. Steps. If you have a lash primer, this is when you'll use it. If you don't have a lash primer, I highly recommend getting one. This stuff is the bomb. Apply it like mascara. It helps your mascara stay on longer throughout the day. It adds length and volume. This was one product that I didn't even know I was missing until I got it. I only do it on the top. I don't do it on the bottom. You're gonna take your Epic mascara and you're gonna go right on top of that. And that is it for that special, but I always finish off this look with a liquid lip. This stuff is so simple, you guys, and this is still the first one that I bought 3 years ago. So it lasts forever. And then the greatest thing about lipstick is you can literally add like a nude lip to kind of go along with it. Or say you get home and you're about to go out on town or whatever, you have a holiday party and you don't have time to redo your makeup, add a bold lip and it will transform this entire look. That is it. Guys, eyeshadow is not scary. There's so many people that are afraid of it. Basic steps, learn as you go. It's the best. So, okay, thank you so much for ordering my November special. I truly appreciate it.